Hi guys, this is Carrie from ChickAshby Yarn Shop, and welcome today. I saw the sun come up this morning, so forgive me if I'm seeming a little loopy. I'm doing my best to maintain normalcy, and sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not. So I've had my caffeine, and I'm trying to prop my eyes open, and we'll see how far into the day I get. So welcome. Chick Ashby is at 409 Cedar Street in Cedar Hill, Texas. We are open 6 days a week, Monday through Wednesday from 2 to 8, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday 1 to 5. And Knit Night is every Tuesday on Zoom. I will put the link below, so feel free to join us there. It is a wonderful way to still hang out and still get to knit and show off your projects and your whips and your FOs and see what all everybody is working on while maintaining that social distancing. So please feel free to join us for that. Everyone is welcome, except trolls, because you know, they're no fun. All right, so we are fully stocked and ready for your COVID refreshment needs. If you've stitched down your stash, now is a great time to refresh. Now through Monday the 31st, we've got a 10% sale off with the code FREEDOM for Memorial Day. And then for scent shots, peach and pink grapefruit did come in along with a bunch of other scents that I ordered in smaller batches to mix up, so that I do have those mixed up and ready to ship out for you. I ordered some gardenia, but they sold before I actually got them listed, so if you're interested in gardenia, please let me know. And let's see, I mixed polishes this week. Look at this. Is that not gorgeousness? So I have these two already mixed. Look it. It makes me so happy. And then I have all of these yet to go. So I can't wait to get those mixed. And on the website, this one I mixed a little thin as there's visible nail line. So I got to go back and thicken that up some, or not thicken it up, but remix it. And so I'm just so super excited to be on the neons and getting going on that. I brought my dapping dish to the shop today so I can test their water marble ability. See, I said it this week. Aren't you so proud of me? That is a mouthful of a word, y'all. I dare you to say it 3 times fast. Water marble ability. Yeah. Okay, so not like I practiced at home or anything. I want to apologize for the banging that is going on in the background. They are working on the elevator. I am by no means going to ask them to stop. Super excited that there is momentum on it again. I'll show a picture of the elevator watch. I might put it in now just to get that picture over with. It looks like they are putting the roof on the very top portion of the elevator shaft. And I'm not sure what it's called. Is it bird's beak or bird's mouth, where you have the board and then the wall kind of comes up into it and it sits on top of it. I'm not sure what that's called, but they're doing that. So, yeah. I'm so up on my terminology, y'all. It is amazing. Okay, so I did mix neons. I am so super excited. That makes me so incredibly happy. I gotta get those out to my swatcher so that they can get pictures and get those posted. And then I haven't colored any new yarns. COVID is kind of, I have yak at home to color. I do not have any merino at home to color. Kind of just been you know how like sometimes you're just not feeling it, and if you try to make yourself do it anyhow, it usually turns out badly. But if you wait until you're in the mood to do it, then you go great guns and have all kinds of success. I'm there. So I'm just waiting until I get the umption to do it and I feel like doing it, because I know if I try to force myself to do it, it's not going to turn out as successfully. That, and I really enjoy and appreciate having Amy and Kathy there when I color, because it's just so much more fun when it's not just me in a kitchen coloring 900 skeins of yarn. It gets a little tiring, a little monotonous, a whole lot hot. You got 4 burners going with water that you're steaming and picking up yarn and dripping yarn over the sink and spinning out yarn, and everything is hot and sticky. And the more hands makes it go much faster and be much lighter work for everybody involved. Plus, they really enjoy getting to play with color. So I tend to be like the bookkeeper, so that our colorways can be repeatable, and I can go ahead and assign barcodes and things to the colorways, so that when it comes time to label, that process is also much easier, because not only do you have to color the yarn and spin out the yarn and rinse, well, color the yarn, make sure the yarns dye fast, rinse the yarn, spin out the yarn, dry the yarn, skein the yarn, band the yarn, name the yarn, barcode the yarn, label the yarn, and photograph the yarn, watermark the photograph, and then get it listed. So it is a process. There's a lot involved, and it just helps to have somebody there to help make it more fun, so that, you know, the time goes faster when you can kind of joke and laugh and kid around and cut up together. And it's much nicer to have them there versus just me and the dogs, because the dogs don't tend to laugh at my jokes. So there is that. Let's see. I don't have any FOs. I do have a whip. I will show you my progress on my sweater. So I didn't really like the neck on theirs, so I tended to I bracketed mine down. I think I started with a 5 and I ended up with a 2. So I did like 15 rows of 5 and 5 rows of 4 and 5 rows of 3, and then the rest 2 on the neck, just so it would be tighter up around me and not so slouchy. I did get the color block neck done, and this is a really hard project to show because it's so big. And I got, I deliberately did this because I wanted this curl right here. So I picked up Stitch in the Ditch on the cuff, and then I left a thumb hole right here. So the plan is for the thumb to come out right here, and then the knitting to go to about here, so that you can still use your fingers, but it'll be mostly warm. So that is the plan. I am this far on that cuff, but the reason I'm further along on this cuff is because I tried it on, and I do not know how I got so off on my gauge. I don't know if I was mathing while tired, or if I just got it in my head wrong, like the stitch, you know, it was 5 and I somehow was thinking it was 7, or I don't even know. But anyway, my gauge is very, very, very off from what I thought it was when I did my gauge swatch. So this sweater is really big on me. I'm going to try to, since it's such a funky sweater anyway, and I'll put up a picture right there so you can kind of see what I was going for. I'm going to do some mattress stitching right here lengthwise to try to draw up the sleeves and make the sleeves shorter, because right now as it is, this hits right here, or no, yeah, right here. So that would be fine. but it's kind of since it's a raglan, like the underarm hits me right around my waist. So there's that. So I'm going to try to do some funky stuff with it. I'm going to do a mattress stitch in the back center to make a vent to take it up there. And I think I'm going to do like maybe one from seam to seam, and then one from the front half, and then one from the back half, just to make it kind of look funky, but offset them to try to draw up that sweater a little bit towards the body. And now that I'm thinking about it, since it's a raglan, yeah, because it's got this part right here that's going to be, I'm almost going to have to only do the sleeve, because if I do this with a mattress stitch, like a horizontal mattress stitch, this will offset this V, this line of decreasing, and that'll look very, very weird. So I don't know. As a backup, I do have a friend that came over this weekend, and she tried it on and it fit her. So I will see what I can do to make it fit me, and if I can't make it fit me, then she's welcome to it. We've kind of already talked about she might get it if I can't make it fit me, but I'm really hoping it'll fit me. Unfortunately, well, I only do superwash currently, or I could, you know, toss it in the washer or not the washer, but the dryer for a little bit and try to deliberately felt it. What was it? I heard something the other day about if it's deliberate, it's called one thing, and if it's not deliberate, it's called another, but I don't remember what the terms were. So there's that. That's my one and only whip, because I am a monogamous knitter. That being said, I have already decided on my upcoming projects. So I still have cinematic in the works. I'm going to post a picture there. I still have Overbrook not in the works. Planning. Still planning to make cinematic. Still planning to make Overbrook. I did take off painted bricks, because after this sweater, I am not in the mood for a Stephen West. His stuff tends to be huge, and I need a palette cleanser, something that will be quicker than that. So I added a bird fly to me. I have no idea why that title is that, because I keep wanting to either call it a bird or a fly to me. Either way, I have added that pattern, so I will put that up there for you guys to see as well. Now, I feel like it's going to be super short, and it kind of is, because I don't have a whole lot. I did mix neons. I do have 3 gallons of base. I got 1 yesterday and 2 more coming. So I've got 3 gallons of base. 2 gallons of that are matte. The one I got yesterday was the gloss, thus the mixing the neon polishes. And then pigments. Oh my gosh, y'all. They do 4x6. They just print your order list on 4x6 for whatever, and it was like page after page after page after page after page of pigments. So I have probably 50 new pigments to mess around with for nail polish, so I'm super excited about that. I am going to be researching cotton yarns this week, and the dyeing process and mordants on that. I know it uses a different mordant than wool, which is an acid dye. I know cotton uses a different dye and a different mordant. So I will be researching that. I do plan to add more summer weight wools to the shop, especially since this is Texas and it's hot, yo. It's getting down into the 60s at night, but it's in the 80s to 90s during the day, which is actually really mild for May. Normally about this time we're already in the hundreds, so it has been kind of a mild summer, but I still want to have summer weight yarns in the shop, or at least more of them. So I will be adding cotton and some linen and some maybe hemp. I'm not real sure. My brother-in-law posted that he is now raising hemp, and I was like, you got anything to do with the pulp? Because I might can find a mill and help you out with that. So it probably won't even happen, because I'm guessing whoever he's raising it for will use the pulp. But nice idea, nice thought. I still have not gotten my brother-in-law his hat sent. And it's May. And I was supposed to have it to him by December. I don't know. You know, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. If that is true, then I will see you there. I think good intentions count for a lot. And I understand that humans are humans, and humans are going to be foible-y. Not a word. Humans are humans, and things get in the way, life gets in the way, they forget, they want to do something, and for whatever reason they just can't get around to it, or they only remember to do it at 2 a.m. or, you know, whatever. And we're all less than perfect, so I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and be gentle and forgiving of their humanness, because I would want them to do that for me. So I think we all just need to be gentle and kind to one another and give each other the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm kind of the person that says, well, you know, maybe his dog peed on his shoe, or maybe his wife bought the wrong flavor bubble gum, or maybe the line for the coffee pot was too long this morning, or whatever. You know, like, it's not about me doing anything wrong. It's about him having a bad day, or her having a bad day, or, you know, being rushed and not thinking to hold that door, or not thinking about, you know, cutting you off in traffic or whatever. They've got stuff on their minds. So I try to be kind towards even people that I don't know, and that don't know that I'm being kind towards them. And I think that makes me a much happier person and gives me a much happier life, because then I'm not stewing about it and going, he cut me off, she banged the door into me, whatever, you know, like, it's not about me. Maybe they're just having a bad day, and that makes my life much more positive, and I am able to just go on about it, you know. I kind of giggle to myself whenever I give that wrong bubblegum flavor. You know, maybe he wanted grape and his wife bought peach, or vice versa, or, you know, whatever. So sometimes I try to make up really bizarre reasons for people's bad behavior, like he got his pants back from the tailor and one leg is shorter than the other, or his kids put toothpaste in his hairbrush, or, you know, I don't even know, but I try to think of reasons for people's bad behavior that makes me happy and makes me giggle, and makes me go, life could be much worse. So that's a challenge I would like to put out for you guys this week is, you know, if somebody's mean, bless them and move on. You know, my mom, I tend to, well, I've gotten a lot better at it since I don't drive as much. I used to have an hour and a half drive one way to work in the morning, and an hour and 45-minute drive in the evening from work. And sometimes it was much longer. I remember quite a few times when it took over 2 to 3 hours to get home, sometimes even when I was riding the train. And kind of being a little road ragey. Just because it doesn't hurt to let out emotions if you're the only person in the car. That is much better than bottling it. And, oh, sorry, that's Skitty's flopping down underneath the table, I think. To just kind of vent. You know, sometimes you need to vent. Sometimes you have a bad day and you just kind of need to get all the grumbles out so that you can go on. And my mom's like, you need to bless him with God's love. And I'm like, I'm going to bless him with God's love right in the butt. Just, now that I think about that, that was... yeah, that didn't sound so good. Yeah. So that's your challenge for this week. If you vent to yourself alone where nobody can hear you, and you know, you're just kind of getting stuff off your chest so that you can move on with your life and be a happy person, and then make funny reasons for people's bad behavior. It really does make a difference versus just labeling so-and-so as a jerk, or such and such as undependable, not dependable, not dependable, or flaky, or angry, or rude, or mean, or whatever. Just kind of, you know, tell yourself that they're allowed to have a bad day too. And make a funny reason about it. You know, maybe their hairdresser dyed their hair blue and they were frantic trying to get it back to a normal color, or just whatever. Something stupid that makes you laugh and makes the situation okay. That being said, while the Bible says turn the other cheek, it doesn't say stand there and continue to get hit. I am not in any way advocating allowing them to be abusive to you, even verbally, repeatedly. You know, once is like they're having a bad day. Twice is like, listen, bud, you better back up. I am not an advocate for standing there and continuing to allow bad behavior. You either get good or you get gone. I don't tolerate bad behavior. And so, what else is going on? Oh, services. Add the shop, and you can do it via mail. That's no problem. Just, you know, send me your project and or send me pictures of your project and we'll talk about what it needs and what you want, and I will give you a quote, and then you can mail me your project and I will block it and finish it and send it back to you, kind of thing. So that is all good. We offer blocking, finishing, tech editing, photo shoot with your knits, problem solving, teaching. I said tech editing? If I didn't, tech editing. And then I have a list below of the books that I have listened to this week, or since the last podcast, because I think the last podcast was actually 2 weeks ago. So I have a list below of those books. If any of them look good, feel free to use the links. It is an affiliate link, just so you know. I wouldn't put any book on there that I didn't like. And I revised my scale system, because I said if I like the book, it's 5 out of 5. I don't see any reason in penalizing an author if their book is good by giving it a 4 out of 5 just to save the 5 out of 5s for the fantastic books. So what I did, if I like the book, it's 5 out of 5. If the book is fantastic or above and beyond, or I especially listen to it, or it's one that I've listened to multiple times, it gets a 6 out of 5. That way you know this was an above and beyond book. 5 out of 5 is I liked it. 4 out of 5 was, it was okay. 3 out of 5, I probably wouldn't even list. 2 out of 5, definitely wouldn't list. And 1 out of 5 is I wasn't even able to get through it. I deleted it before I finished it. So I would not list any of those. anything I list is stuff that I have listened to and I enjoyed and recommend. So feel free to use those affiliate links if you want to. If you don't want to or don't want to purchase them or whatever, then feel free to do that. It's just a way to kind of help me out. You know, I lost a lot of, not a lot of business, but a lot of customers coming in due to COVID. And so side hustles, yo. Just trying to recover and get back in the game in any way possible. So feel free, you know, if you're so inclined to use the affiliate links, do. If you don't, I won't know the difference. So you do you. And I am going to go mix up more polishes. Yesterday, I moved all the furniture out of, so Cheeky Cactus, the shop below me on the first floor, is going out of business. Their last day will be May the 31st. Everything in their shop is 50% off, I believe. I haven't heard that it's more than that. And they're at cheekycactus.com if you want to shop online. And so I had the option of moving downstairs or staying where I'm at. I think I'm going to stay where I'm at because the space is bigger and it's laid out better. It's not as choppy. Downstairs has a bunch of small rooms. Upstairs has just more cohesiveness. A larger room that works well as a classroom and a larger room that works well as an office, and it's got a lot of built-ins, and I've already got my grid wells hung. Downstairs is mostly windows, so I wouldn't have a lot of places to put grid well. I could do freestanding, but then they would come 2 feet out into the room, so an already small room like an 8 by 10 or a 12 by 14, you lose 2 feet over here and 2 feet over here. That's going to make for a very small room if all the grid walls come out into the room. Kind of like a reverse porcupine. So I've been thinking about it, trying to figure out how I would make it work. It would be nice to be on the first floor, if nothing else, just for traffic flow. The first floor does have a full kitchen. They do not have a stove, but I could bring over the stove from the garage so that I could cook yarn while I was at the shop. Cooking yarn smells very badly, and there would not be a way to block off the smell from the rest of the shop, and that the kitchen has like a just a beam across it separating it from the rest of the shop, so there wouldn't be a way to keep that wet wool smell from permeating the entire shop. So that is one reason why I haven't really. The other reason is it just doesn't have a good traffic flow. It's a bunch of small rooms, one, two, three small rooms, and there's hallway and some water, like not water closets, but just closets minus the water. It doesn't have the storage space or the display space, or I don't feel, I think it would be a step backwards. So, and I've already done so much work up here as far as scrubbing the floors and staining the floors and fixing things and repairing things and buying plate covers for electrical outlets and replacing light bulbs and putting in lighting in the closet and all kinds of stuff that just, I think it would be a step backwards to go downstairs. That being said, I have been thinking about how to color in the bathroom, because the second floor has 2 bathrooms, both full bathrooms, and I think I would be able to color adequately in one of the bathrooms and just shut the door and turn on the exhaust fan, and that should keep most of the wet wool fumes out. So I think that would be good. And then there's a closet just off of that bathroom that I've kind of been using for storage where I could keep all my pigments. But there's also like the toilet. It's really weird. The toilet is in a little area that kind of resembles what could be a shower stall. And it's kind of hexagonal. So it's like this and the toilet's in the middle. So I could also build shelves up the walls behind and around the toilet for all of my yarn coloring pigments, and that would be a great place to keep them. And then it does have electrical outlets where I could use crock pots or hot plates to color. And then it's got a shower, well, not a shower, it's a clawfoot tub that has the hanging, you know, it hangs down from the ceiling and has that oval pipe around it where you can hang a shower curtain. So I would probably get a shower curtain just to make sure that all the drips landed in the tub, and then hang the yarn around that hook or that ring so that when they drain, they can drain down into the tub. The thing I don't know what to do with is the spin dryer, because it does not have a place to hook up a garden hose. It just has a little nozzle that pulls out the side, and the nozzle is square. So I might have to hack it, like maybe even cut it off with a hacksaw to get to the nozzle part of it, so I can hook some PVC or something over into it to make a drain line. And I don't know, drain it, if I drained it into the toilet or the tub, I would have to put the spin dryer up on a stand of some kind, because the drain nozzle is at the very bottom of it. And I just think that would cause problems, because when you get a rough load in the spin dryer, you have to lean on it to get it to straighten out and quit knocking about, because it is the bottom, and so it kind of goes like this, and then you lean on it and it gets stabilized like a lump of clay. If anybody has ever worked with a pottery wheel, same principle. You got to lean on it and get it to straighten out. And I think it'd be difficult to lean on it if it was up on a platform of some kind. That being said, I don't know if they would be willing to take the tub out. It's clawfoot, so I'm sure it would be in demand in one of the other properties. And I'm not sure if I want them to take the tub out. The room in there is tile, so it could just be a wet room where we could just drain everything into the floor where the tub used to be. So I don't know. There's thoughts about that. Or I've just kind of been rolling that around in my head. And how I could make it work. Maybe I could put the spin dryer in the tub. My thought is that the tub is curved enough where the spin dryer will not fit well, but I haven't tested that out. It might have a flat spot where I could use the spin dryer, or I could build a tiny platform of some kind that was flat for the spin dryer and just let it drain out into the tub. That would work too. So I haven't figured that part out. And then I'm just going to keep on keeping on, keep on connecting with you guys, and doing Zoom knit nights and being here and trying to engage with the community, trying to get my name out there, trying to get to know people. I am not a naturally outgoing person, so it's very, very hard for me to just walk up and be like, hey, you know, how you doing? What you doing? Come see me, like, you know, kind of thing. So there is that. And then let me know what else you want to hear next week. If you have a topic that interests you, post it below, and I will do my best to talk about it or teach it or address it or explain it or discuss it or whatever you want me to do with it. Let me know what you want more of. You know, do you want to see more puppy pics? Do you want to talk more about knitting, more about nail polish, more about setup and techniques, more about how I knit, more about tips and tricks of knitting? stitch patterns, obviously not sleep patterns, because like I said, I saw the sun come up this morning. That was pretty frustrating. I just laid there and laid there and laid there, and I was like, it's a good thing I have an audiobook, because I would be just fit to be tied if I had to just lay here and see. Stop, that hurts. Gaber, come say hi. Come say hi. Do you see him? Do you see yourself? Do you see? Look. You see yourself? Aww. He says he's bored and got nothing to do, and he needs me to play with him. So that is Cade / Skitties. His middle name is Skitties. We'll say that. Usually, Skitties is a familiar fun name, and Cade is the name that you use when he's being bad. And he is bad. I was saying he was such a good dog, and Amy was like, no, he is a bad dog with a very good heart. So she is correct. He has malice for nobody, but he gets into some stuff. This 2 or 3 weeks ago, he ate I had a pie cooling on the stove, and it was cherry with crunch topping, and he ate the whole thing before I even realized he was in the kitchen. He's learned to be quiet. He knows that if he makes noise, I'm like, what are you doing? But if he's quiet, he can get away with stuff. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, he ate the entire pie. Then for Memorial Day, he got 2 ears of corn. My husband had made pit beef and corn, and I had gotten the pit beef, and the corn wasn't ready yet. So when I went back to get my corn, it was gone. And Cade had eaten both ears of corn, cob and all. Like there was not a trace of corn left when he was done. Such a bad dog. But it's like he doesn't mean to. He was rescue, and his owner died. And I don't know if he went without food or what, but food is very much so a source of, we have a food puzzle ball, and he will play with that thing until the last morsel is out of it. And if that's 3 hours, then he plays with it for 3 hours, and he is just serious about food. So anyway, let me know what you want to know more about, or want me to discuss, or want to see more of. I did post the elevator pic. I will post it again here. They are doing great guns on it, and I'm so happy to see that. Mixed neons, yay! So I will hopefully get those out to the swatcher this week. Get some water marble pics. I am so not good at water marbling. It is, I'm not gonna say it's hard. I will say it takes practice and talent, and I have not done it but maybe once in the last 3 years, so definitely out of practice. So I will get that out and try to get swatches, and I will see you next time around. Y'all have a great week. Stay positive, make funny excuses for people's bad behavior, but by no means continue to take bad behavior off of somebody. And stay positive. We're in this together. We'll get through it together. And you do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. You live to your conscience, and if that's wearing a mask, then that's fine. If that's not wearing a mask, that's fine. Make exceptions for people to do what they believe they should do. You know, don't make fun of them if they're wearing a mask. Don't make fun of them if they're not wearing a mask. Live and let live. And be nice to one another. We need niceness so much in today's world and in today's society. So just bless them and move on. And you will be so surprised and shocked at how much better your life becomes when you give other people the benefit of the doubt and create funny reasons for their behavior. You know, the hamster chewed their shoelaces out of their shoes, or the cat climbed their leg this morning, or the dog was playing with them this morning and farted in their face, or just whatever. You guys are creative. I'm sure that you can come up with some really, really good reasons for people's behavior. If you have any really good ones, please share them below. We can all benefit from each other's creativity. I want to see what you guys have, so definitely do that below and let me know what you want more of, and I will talk to you next time. You guys have a great week.